It's live now. Do the countdown again, Chad.
Good evening, everyone. The two people that are in here at the moment. Give it a couple minutes. We're going to share this out so that way we have two people that are in here at the moment. Keep on here. Hello, Mom.
Anybody that comes in, if you can, just let us know you're in the chat. Share it out.
If you're coming off of Facebook, please make sure that you say hi and who you are before we get into our live stream of the investigation of the Avenel House in Bedford, Virginia.
4 in the chat room tonight.
Hello, Anne-Marie.
Awesome.
I've shared out, and I have also told Samuel as well. I've also sent it over to Coffin.
Anybody that's in here this evening, we thank you for helping us to get to 100. We are at 100 subscribers now.
Thank you, guys.
Sam, we are going to show some of the pictures and stuff from the Avenel House that we did. In July 16th, Linda's birthday, or she is out of screen here.
Sorry, I'll be in just a bit. Hi, guys. I'm doing me.
Linda's doing the little share out to everybody. Sounds like a kick-ass time for me tonight.
Yay.
You might want to make me blue, guys, just in case, because if anyone comes in, I can't kick because I'm not blue on the company channel.
Yep, give me 1 second. I will do that.
I don't know if you can make her blue from there. Add moderator. Oh, at the bottom.
Done, Seth. Alright, guys. Let me pull up the info. All you gotta do is minimize this, and it should be right behind it. And then let's do that.
I put it on so that our StreamYard came up. A little info on the Avenel House. This is a colonial house that was built in Bedford County in Virginia. for William Burrell. He was Thomas Jefferson's private secretary while Jefferson was president. So he was very political. When he married his wife Frances Steptoe in 1831, he was gifted a tract of land in that area in Bedford. So shortly after the elder Steptoe passed away, Mr. Burrell, being the gentleman that he is, brought his mother-in-law into the house, and they kept it in the family until 1905, and after that, the Ballard family owned it until 1985, at which the Avenel Foundation bought the house and started restoring the house. In a minute, we're going to show you what the pre-restoration house looked like. Some of the notable things that went on in the house is that Mr. Burrell would have various people in the house due to the fact that he was very political. So it was a lot of political people, obviously, that came into the house. One notable person is Robert E. Lee. He spent a couple nights there shortly after the war because he was on the run from the U.S. government due to the fact that they classified him as a criminal of war. So he would run between different plantations and houses and stuff of people that he knew, and Mr. Burrell, being one of the friends of Robert E. Lee, he ended up coming and staying there. And in one of the areas is actually the room that Robert E. Lee stayed in, and it still has the bed and stuff from when Robert E. Lee stayed there. Obviously, the sheets and everything have been changed since then. Along with that notable part of Robert E. Lee sleeping there, after he came back to Bedford, word got out that he was there, and he actually stood in the foyer room and shook every soldier's hand that had served in the Confederate Army, which said it was miles. They went from down the street that the house is on, down another block, down the main strip, all the way into main town, Bedford. So that was, and he shook literally everybody's hand until the last person came in and was able to be there and shook his hand. Very cool. One of the notable things that the paranormal wise that they say that goes on in this particular house is called the Lady in White. They believe it's Miss Steptoe, but Miss Steptoe also had seen the Lady in White beforehand, so it's a little confusing on who it is. But they believe it may be the ghost of Letitia Burrell, who had just gotten married to her husband, and then her husband was sent off to war, and in that he ended up dying, and they believe that she died herself, committed suicide or otherwise, but nobody knows. There are other supernatural things going on in the house, such as various smells. Mr. Burrell was because in Virginia, the main source of income back then was tobacco. So Mr. Burrell, being the tobacco farmer, would often utilize his own stuff, and sometimes in the evening times during paranormal investigations such as ours, you could get the whiff of a cigar smoke or pipe smoke. But and they don't allow anybody to smoke inside the house, and nobody on any of their teams, like we were not allowed to vape, smoke, drink alcohol, do drugs or anything inside the building. So we don't do that anyway. So if we were to be able to get a whiff of smell of something, that would be possibly Mr. Burrell in his library area or in the big main foyer room. If you guys watched our live stream, I was in that room for quite a bit doing the SLS investigation. That's why we're doing this now, because this is a lot of the pictures that we've been able to go through and look at.
We do have a lot of shows.
And we got quite a few shows that we're going to be doing on this particular.
10 to be exact.
We got 10 different chips to go through.
They're rough thing. It's just I can't even remember so much.
They have a little slide. Do what, sis?
I said you got a lot of content from that investigation, and that there's lots.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. If you're done, you can go back.
And many more to come, believe me.
Yes.
So, little thank yous for coming in tonight. We have Sam in here thinking. We see Boss Lady. Mom's in here. Seems to be
it for right now.
It for right now. So we appreciate you guys coming in. I think Linda's trying to take the mouse from me.
If you're done talking.
I'm never done talking.
Well, you can continue while I start sharing. I'm just going to get this up and get it ready. Go ahead.
If you can, like we always constantly repeat to everybody, if you would like to join PWIRD, we have the link at the bottom scrolling. It's the PWIRD 2021 at gmail.com. Send us your name, what interest you are, and what interests you're into, such as the paranormal, ufology, cryptology, anything supernatural. It's one of them we've enjoyed since we started with Sherry, and we've got big things coming. You guys see the T-shirts that we keep modeling off.
Most definitely.
So we've got business cards we're working on. We've got, me and Linda apparently have another house investigation we got to go on.
Thank you, and I also sent her a PM as well with the link.
Yeah. They have got another house investigation. Linda said to me the other day about it.
Yep, and we may have a museum investigation coming up as well. I did send that email out.
That's awesome as well. Yeah, that's really good news.
We have big things coming, just one step at a time.
So the house that Linda's getting ready to share on our screen
is the original.
Is what the house looked like before Avenel Foundation went into the restoration part of making it a very beautiful house.
So up here, as you see a little door, this was actually closed off to be a porch. but because obviously, as you can see, it is rotted and not good, and it's not safe, they did actually close this off. The door is there, but it is locked. Nobody's allowed to get there. But that is a cool effect from the outside. And this is also a wraparound. It goes all the way around.
It's a 3/4 wraparound. It stops on the opposite side of where this part is here. It goes back to the other side, but it doesn't wrap completely around the house.
So that's what it used to look like. Now, that's what it looks like today. Again, you get the door. They left it, but it is locked. And then, well, I can do it here too. I just saw something right there, so I wasn't sure what that was.
Part of the door.
Okay, that's what I was looking. So you see back here, they have a little. That's where they take a lot of their wedding photos nowadays. Back here, and then underneath is a little porch area going into the kitchen. So here's the side door, which they call the front door because it goes out to their circle driveway. And then this goes down, and as Chad said, it just hits the other end over here of that house. It does not wrap all the way around.
So as we said before, Robert E. Lee.
This is his room.
This is the bed and such that Robert E. Lee slept in, and they classify this as Lee's. Literally on the outside of the room, it says Lee's bedroom.
Yep. This is the original.
You're not allowed to sit on it. You're not allowed to, because of how old it is. I mean, it's essentially historical to this particular house. So, but all the furniture in there is from that time period of when Robert E. Lee would have been there.
It's a lot of details up here. A lot of handwork. Beautiful.
There's actually a chest in there that eventually, when we get around to the pictures,
yes, Sam.
it takes a lot. They said it would take a lot of people to pick it up to move it in there. So essentially, that room was built around that particular piece of furniture.
So this is one staircase going up. This is to the back. If we were to go backwards, it would take you into the kitchen. Sorry. Over here that's the office, right? Okay. I'm making sure I didn't have it backwards.
That's the library.
Okay.
And then the office is
towards the back. Okay. So going up here, and then up this staircase to the back here is the little boys' room. That's an office that they have locked. We were not allowed to get into it. And then over on this side in the back, yes, is what they are doing in this room in the back corner is they're making it a museum. Anything that is special, they are actually preserving it, keeping it. And if you were to go in this hallway down here, you would hit the front door coming in. That's the side door that goes out on the porch. So this was pretty cool. This is Miss Irene, this lovely lady right here.
Lovely photo.
I know, I'm sorry. I do have a few of her. I do apologize in the look that she's given me. She was talking. She gave us a wonderful 2-hour tour of the entire place. So
she asked us if we wanted the 15-minute tour or did we want the full-blown out tour. And we literally said that we wanted the full tour.
If we're going to do the investigation right, in my eyes, you want the entire history of the background of the place to go with your investigation. To me, it just puts everything in light. And the reason why I was taking so many pictures of her is I thought that there was the lady in white, somebody standing behind her. So, again, that's just, what I saw. And this is going in the front door here, and this is another staircase going up on the opposite side of the house. Because the house was split, and I'll let you explain that.
The house, actually, we got to go back. The where we're standing right here is the main foyer room, and stuff like that. Once you got past this door frame of the main foyer, this area here is actually was Miss Steptoe's in-law house, essentially. They would come in through this door here and be able to come in, go in, and do stuff like that, in order to form the wall. The woman, she had some discoloration behind her on the wall.
Yes, Sam, that is exactly why I took a picture of her, because that's what I thought I saw.
But literally, this was Grandma Steptoe's house area. They would be able to come in to the side door, go upstairs, and then she slept up in we see is the little boy's room, because it's grandma's room, but all little kids want to go in and they want to hang out with grandma. So
yeah,
that's pretty much where that was. Good idea to use camera pictures to bring out up the spirits.
Yep, so true. Like, yep, right there.
I mean, this is the Steptoe door. You'll be able to come in. This door frame here goes into the large room, Mr. Burrell's large room that we'll get to. Hey, it's a picture of me.
You were just coming out of the side room. And again, that's because I kept seeing the woman or a figure or something behind her, and I thought it was cool to capture. She did not care. She actually accepted it and said, take as many as you want. I do not mind.
So this is the big room, as we called it. Anybody want to take a gander as to why there's a mirror here?
And no, it is not to check your shoes.
To give you a 30-second countdown to try to see if you can figure it out. Sherry, do you have an idea why there's a mirror there?
I think that it's something to do with conflicting and showing the spirits. I think it's a portal or a way for the spirits to come in. Maybe they feel connected to it.
No, well, as us paranormal investigators, yes, we would think mirrors are portals.
Yeah.
Anybody have an idea? Nope.
Go ahead, Ben.
This is so that young ladies can come up and check the hems of their dress.
Oh.
Nothing was falling out before they left.
They would be able
That's
to.
a really good idea, isn't it? It's instead of having to watch yourself down.
Back then, the skirts and such had to be below your knees and stuff like that. So they wanted to make sure that so kids can see themselves. But it's probably
that was the main hide and seek.
you can't exactly hide under there, but the main purpose of the mirror there is to show the hems of your skirt for the young ladies, to make sure that it was at a proper length and stuff like that before they left out.
See, I thought it was something to do with the spirits portal, because that's normally what mirrors do, and that.
At first, that's what I thought too, and she corrected me real quick.
So Colonel Sanders up here, that's not actually Colonel Sanders, that's Mr. William Burrell. He was a very portly man.
Where he's hanging?
We'll get there. Another picture of Mr. Burrell. The fireplace is the original fireplace. When the second family that moved in, they actually shut it off to not be able to be utilized. And since then, it is been the same. They had some bricks that had some cracks and stuff in it. That's why you see the discoloration. It's actually the way that they cleaned it and reset it, basically cleaned it up so that it was presentable, because they didn't want to have obviously a historical place with cracked bricks and stuff like that in the fireplace. They were going to repaint it black, but they said that they liked the coloration that it was after the restoration, so they left it just like that.
Oh. I don't think that was it. I'll just show the little kids all the stuff. Never mind. That's just showing a bigger.
This is coming from the dining room out to the main foyer room. The dining room is enough to hold probably like 16 people around that table. It was a big, really big table.
The person standing in the back. Oh, let me see that one. So this again is the back, and the reason why we're showing this is because we are me and Rachel, the lady we brought with us, is standing behind all lights and everything here. As you see back here, there is a person standing there with what looks like a rifle in his hand. So that was pretty cool. I'll zoom in so you guys can see it. So we are
and mind you, there's the legs of the chair, there's parts of the chair. This is something different.
Yeah.
This isn't part of the chair. The chair legs and stuff are angled over. It does, the shadowing is off.
Yeah.
So you zoom back out to see the full picture. You can see the chair legs.
Mm-hmm.
What would be down, this part would be this part down here, and then you got the spines that are right here. This is totally different out of everything else.
That's pretty cool. That's just another one. I think that one shows the cat.
I think the other one shows the cat too. Come back.
Yeah, that one did. So this right here, you see a curl lace.
Oh, curl tail.
Mm-hmm.
What Linda pointed out, the tail. The curve of the tail. Woo! Sorry.
That was lightning.
That was a very nice lightning bolt going across the sky.
So there has been a history of a black cat roaming the house. They have not owned any pets. They do not have any cats because it is a venue. They do weddings, parties, reunions, and such. So, yeah, that was funny. So this is the black cat. As you see, he is walking from underneath here. And this is his tail. We did catch him in several, but this is the best one that I have caught. And he does block out that.
Zoom back out. The green things that are on the stairs, that is the one up the highest is one of our EMF pumps.
Yep.
Okay, Sam, hurry back. Even though we're answering your question. The other one is our K2 meter, which you can see has got a little bit of a spike going.
Mm-hmm.
And then this is the
itty bitty teeny tiny,
which is over there. When we come back live, we'll show you our little Boo Bear. They can't see it. Here.
No. Don't end it now. Don't end it now. I'm sorry. I forget.
This is full screen.
I forget. I'm so sorry. Anyway, continue.
So as you can see, Rachel's hair and stuff, so you can see that nothing is projected down that hallway, because the light that Linda has is one of our excessively large camera lights that is very bright. Okay, Sam, so now that you're back,
Do this again.
we'll do this again. The higher one is an EMF pump. We have a blue one and a green one. The one down is the K2 meter.
And as you see, it's being swiped.
And then the little Boo Bear, which we'll show when we get back to actually being live.
It is tiny, but it does do the job.
And very reasonably priced compared to
You see the same thing here, the cat,
laying down.
but you actually see both paws this time, the head, and you see the fat tail even more this time. So he is walking out, which I thought was pretty cool. So this is going upstairs from the front.
The little black thing in right there is kind of like a little REM pod. It's a sensor.
It'll make little noises.
And if something comes near it, it'll go off in a very annoying bell and whistles. See the thing on the little this thing right here is another little sensor. It's what is it? It's a Spirit Music Box or SMB. It looks like a little coffin. If anything gets near it, which it did, that is the thing with entities. You can tell the shadow can be lighter or darker as compared to the rest of the area. Yep.
Yes.
That thing would go off periodically, and nobody would be near it.
We would be in different parts of the house.
Another fun feature of the house is this door right here.
The one right next to it. It's hidden, remember? That goes to, it was behind it, I think.
It was this brown door.
Okay.
No, okay. Yeah, the white trim door behind this brown door. Yes. Went off a lot. Oh yeah. The SMB, yeah, that thing went off a lot. We had to decipher between us going past it, because if the beam would actually go into the dining room. So sometimes we literally had to stay away from the dining room area because the beam of that little thing would go off. But the little feature of this house is, does anybody notice that there's no closets?
They didn't believe in them.
This little whited area behind this door is their closet.
It's a hidden closet.
It's a Harry Potter. So the stairways underneath, that's how they had them built. They literally, the stairways was built, and this area in here was storage.
Right
as
now.
a closet.
And that's what it is now. It holds all the round tables.
So no, Harry Potter was not living under there. So here's the main foyer room, and the stairways. You can come in this way from two different directions, either from coming up the back way and stairways like a teenager, throw it on the floor.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Or from the museum room across, which is the other set of stairs. I mean, this place is a maze. If you
got lost just setting up. Go back.
The doorway right there is the
Yeah.
one that goes out onto that porch area that no one is allowed to go on.
Discoloration.
That is literally discoloration.
Okay.
It's literally discoloration. It's nothing.
That's why I had never seen it before.
So this is a picture from across from one set of stairwells to the other set of stairwells.
To the museum.
That side is the museum, and the other side is Lee's bed.
This is the front stairwell going up.
Which is the way you would go up to Lee's bedroom, the direct way, not the indirect way.
Yep.
So you go up these set of stairs to this landing, go up another set of stairs, and you're right there at Lee's bedroom.
So this is where I caught a child and something else that I really can't make out. But this is definitely, to me, looks like a baby or just a child sitting there playing, looking out. So that was pretty cool. And then the glow there. So there's a bunch of things. This little thing right here never sounded. So either they were tiptoeing around it or they just weren't interested to play with it. But that
The detail on the roof, on the ceiling part, these are actually tobacco leaves.
and they are original to the house. Might be a dog or a puppy. I was thinking the same thing.
But
Or
they
the
never,
cat.
but they never had any animals there.
Yeah. So this is original. This is original. And another thing, and as you see in the first episode, because it will be the introduction, it will be the full history. This light in this room flickers. She has confirmed. BG&E, electrician, everybody has said there is nothing electrical wrong with the house.
Well, in Virginia, it's Pepco.
But I'm just saying, they get my drift. So this is the darker version of what you just saw here.
This is when went completely lights out.
Yep. So completely dark. So this is the same thing, I think. No, this is different. This is actually a little boy crouched down. And we believe that it is the little boy that we were communicating in his room, in his grandmother's room. So he came down to check it out. And then there's something manifesting there, but it just didn't come to light. So, there.
There's a better picture of the SMP.
You going to tell me about the whole coffin? Do you remember that? What she said about the...
On the top right, what is that?
What top right? This? No. Right there, right there. Zoom out, top right? I'm confused. So do you think Lee and the people that at that period believe in spirits?
There are reports that...
Where are the child? You go ahead and answer him. I got this.
Okay. There are reports that when Mr. Burrell passed away and they had his coffin in the foyer area, sitting literally right here. I mean, you can kind of still see where the discoloration. I mean, there's multiple discolorations, but it's this main prevalent area where it's really discolored is where they had wheeled Mr. Burrell's coffin in to zoom on the child and then look a little to the right.
Yeah,
we'll do that in a minute there, Sam. The coffin was there, and the little kids being little kids, it was the haunted house. They would come up and they would dare each other to come up and look in the window of the front door area. And literally somebody thought they saw a phantom coffin in that area. So, but to answer your questions of that time period, probably, I mean, it was probably the kids that were more prevalent in seeing the spirits compared to the adults.
Mm-hmm.
But
I know what Sam's talking about, so I just pointed it out.
what?
Let me see, and I'll show you.
Listen to teddy bears.
Sam, you talking about this, honey? We'll work on this area first. A little to the right. This is a little to the right. Yes, that's what I thought too, but I couldn't get a clear picture of exactly what it was. So I really don't know what it was. But this you can clearly see is a little boy.
Next picture.
Look at that. So that is just the back hallway. If there's anything there. Something I thought was there. Same thing going up. Now the box that we had here, I did move up there. The cat again. He absolutely loved this hallway. I could not get him out of it. He just kept pulling up. You could tell it's the cat because he's blocking out the thing. And then his head's coming up this way.
All right, Sam, hurry back.
So this is going up that stairwell in the back. The office and then the museum. No. Yeah, office, museum. I had that right. Let's stop. This is the little boy's room. Here, I just noticed as we are going through, like a mist of something coming through. Now, all these little dots, I don't know what they are. Maybe. I don't know. This is the Boo Bear that we had. It was talking. It was saying different phrases. Its paws, all four, would light up red if the little boy would touch it. We do have on camera where the paw on this side would light up in command. And then the bear would communicate with the little boy. We do have the little cat balls that light up on here. As we set it up and we left, the camera did catch one of the cat balls that was directly in front of the bear light up at least 3 times. So that was pretty cool. And then same thing here, the mist. And then the same setup with the little boy. And then this is what I thought was pretty cool. We were not in here. You see my head there, but I was only taking a picture, and we are not in this mirror. There is a red orb here, which was not anybody's light, and there is a orb or a face in the mirror itself. This is the lights that were hanging up in the ceiling, so that was pretty cool. Just during the day as we were setting up, you get a general sense. This is the grandmom's bed. This is up on the landing going down. This hutch is original as well. Just a different angle. This is how we originally, after we got done, we set it up. The other side. There's an orb here. You can see it is because of how it looks, which is pretty cool. This is just a straight shot to the back. This is actually off of somebody's site. You know, you see this here. This is not airs. I did not have a clear shot to the back because it was too dark. So this did come off of somebody's site. It was just a better looking shot than mine. This is William, what he looked like.
Mr. Bedford.
Bedford.
Or not. The second owners.
Go ahead and talk while I get the other stuff up.
Hello, we're back again. So, this was our little Boo Bear. All it does literally is, when anything gets near it, it would go off. It didn't go off much.
In a second, I'm going to do the outside first. This is that shadow.
Some of these are from Sherry taking pictures of while I was doing the SLS.
We make an awesome team, and she caught a lot of good stuff, let me tell you. What I'm about to show you may be a little mind-blowing, because it was to me.
Yeah, I had to get some really good pictures.
This right here is not a human. This is a spirit. As we go through the pictures, you will see it. Well, I will make it bigger as we go. See the legs change. It starts to walk. I know how to do that. Same thing. It moves. So it is now walking across the field. I don't know what these lights are. They might just be interference, but this is what caught my eye, which was pretty cool. And then here he is walking across even more. He's standing there. Back again. So as you watch, you see him move 3 different times. Now this was something that Sherry caught that we believe to be orbs. There is no lights. No lights there. Yeah, our vehicle is over here somewhere. What's that?
Our vehicle's way over there.
Oh. So our vehicle's way up here. It's in the sky. So these are outside, right off that side porch that they call the front. Just now noticed that, so I don't know what that is. A mist of some sort. But that was pretty cool. I think that's it for that. So I'm going to stop sharing. You can talk.
And we're back.
And tell them about the barn and what else is on the property.
There are 2 other buildings that are on the property itself. There is obviously the stable barn. Back then, they used to use horses and mules and stuff like that, so they had a barn specifically for that. But mind you, it was mostly probably. Sorry, that took so long.
No,
Don't worry about it,
Sam.
Sam. You didn't miss much. Just a lot. It was mostly probably mules because the barn itself, you could look at the stables. They were small, so it wasn't like it was a big quarter horse or workhorse and stuff like that. These are small little stables. There's also what they classify, I guess, as smokehouse, but she keeps flashing different pictures over here, and I'm like, sorry.
Oh, there we
go. That was in the grandmother's room?
Yep. So whenever you're ready.
Sure.
You can continue to talk.
Our company email is at the bottom scrolling there, boss lady.
I'll put it in a little headline to help out. So this is a picture that Sherry did when Chad was doing the SLS, and you see one of the figures. Not quite sure what he's doing. There is a chair over here, so it looks like he's sitting on the top desktop. So.
Then anybody knows the SLS stands for the structured light sensor. It pulls anything that may be a spirit or something and maps it out as a stick figure. Part of one of our company streams we'll be going through, and I'll explain everything in detail on what I have to do to set it up and such like that. But this one, he's climbing the wall.
Why we don't?
Probably getting ready to jump onto the bed, like any normal little child would do. So, watch out, Grandma.
I'm coming. Somebody standing over Rachel.
Well, that was Rachel standing up, and then she sat down.
Okay. So we
it maps us out as well, not just spirits and such. So Rachel had been standing up, and then when she sat down, it still mapped out her standing. So that was nothing right there.
So the reason why we had Rachel sitting here was a little experiment. The little teddy bear, before she was sitting there, wanted to know why we made the room cold. So we did not, but it continued to ask that. So out of an experiment, we did have Rachel sit in a chair next to the bed. And then right after she sat down, the little boy or the bear asked, "Why is it hot? Did you make it hot in here?" Right as she sat down. So that was kind of cool. That was a kind of a little experiment that we were doing. It's like it went from ice cold 1 minute and then it's warm the next. So that was pretty cool. And then here he goes again, climbing the wall. And then if you see, there's a little indent here. And then a little teddy bear up there, little gadgets we got. Same thing. We got a lot of good hits into that room, so.
One of the things you're not allowed to do is sit on any. You can sit on the chairs and such, but the bed you're not allowed to.
So they did get some blue, different. I don't know. That's kind of weird. I don't know what to call that, but
out of focus.
Maybe. What room was that in? Do you remember? That was a bedroom, not the little boys. This is also downstairs from the front door over. Yeah. Okay. There always are others when they have not passed on the other side. They can wait forward and hang around. Yes, that is so true.
And what Irene said is that because of COVID-19, a lot of spirits are becoming more and more active due to the fact that more and more people are coming around. So you figure they didn't have anybody to interact with during the whole time they had COVID-19 around.
See something there.
In the bedroom.
Yep. This is where the rocking chair is. So this is William. or Robert E. Lee? Okay.
They only had 2 bedrooms. They
So-
only had 2 bedrooms set up, the grandmother's bedroom and Lee's bedroom.
Okay. So the other one was Lee's too. So this couch has a little story with it. If somebody were to sit on one side and somebody sit on the other side, it has been known that General Robert E. Lee will sit in the middle of whoever sits there. So I did do a little experiment with that, and I did get a couple answers that he is sitting there. I did feel, and Sherry did catch, I didn't get those photos, but we might do another live so we can show you guys those as well. We do have a lot to go through. That he did have his hand on my shoulder. We do have a picture of that. We do have where, he was standing behind me. So, and then we did get an answer that he was sitting between me and Rachel, which I thought was a pretty cool experiment to see if it actually did come true.
Yeah, that did really well, that experiment.
Mm-hmm.
I was in a totally different part of that.
Now, this was our only time that Chad and I really split off. And he did one side, like if he did outside or upstairs, I was downstairs, or vice versa, so we weren't bumping into each other.
But it was an easier way for us to capture more. I mean, I had Sherry on live with me, and Linda had Rachel with her, but it was one of them. We were in the same house, so it's not like we're back in the backwoods of Kentucky or somewhere and not knowing where we're at and sitting there going, all right, you're going over this side, I'm going over this side. No, we wouldn't have done that. We would have stayed together.
Exactly. This is the kitchen.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the kitchen where I was standing facing the stairs the other direction, where we found that large soldier or person holding the rifle. This is where I was standing behind everything.
Now, mind you, the kitchen that is now actually in the building itself was not actually the kitchen.
Yeah.
Back then. You'd literally have to go out the back door, walk across to about 100 feet away from the house to the kitchen.
Mm-hmm. You can explain that one. That was like a face right there, though.
That's part of the hand.
I know, but that's what it looks like.
So this is in General Lee's room. I was just scanning across, and something came out of the fireplace. No, it's not Christmas in July, but it could have been Santa Claus. Who knows? But it was literally, it just popped up there, and we had it interacting on the SLS, raising its hand, which it was doing. We were trying to get it to open and close its hands, because if you have an open hand, it'll be green, and a closed hand, it'll be blue, and we were just trying to get it to interact. It was working.
That was pretty cool.
That is Grandma's room.
Again. Oh, this is the jumper. I call him the jumper because that's what it looks like.
From where I was standing, I'm on the grandma's side of the house. And this is looking, if point down, that's the main foyer room area. That's the front door. But this is over here is the museum area, and then Robert E. Lee's part is on the other side. So we're scanning, panning across, and next thing you know, we had somebody look like he was jumping over the railing. And I was like, whoa, that was weird.
Yeah.
Because literally, it was on the screen, and then it was off the screen. And it literally, that's what Sherry had caught. was that particular the aerial part of him jumping off.
And if you guys want to see the actual live stream from this, it is on our YouTube. If you just want to watch that through, there is some pretty cool evidence on there. This
is in Robert E. Lee's room. It is a rocking chair that is said that will mysteriously just all of a sudden just start rocking for no apparent reason.
We did not catch that. But
which is why I was scanning it for a while, because me and Sherry were trying to see if it was going to rock, and it didn't rock.
No.
Or at least have somebody sit in the rocking chair.
And it did not. This is also downstairs, going the side door facing the main room, coming in, going up. And this over here is the little office. Goes down there's the kitchen. This a room. I can't remember.
But seeing it in black and white, it's all Greek to me. Grandma's room. Back with the little thing on top of the chair. Take it back. Chad, as for SLS spirits, have you ever come across bad, nasty spirits? No, we haven't. I mean, we haven't. All it does is it maps it out. I mean, we haven't. You can't really tell if it's a negative or a positive energy. So to answer your question, no, we haven't come across anything nasty. And that was the end of the photos.
At least for now, we have like hundreds of them. So
yeah, we have 10 of these little things to go through.
And I have them all labeled and organized.
So this was just kind of a sneak peek on
what is to come. Our first one is going to be the intro with Miss Irene and the other young lady that was there with us.
Which, now I'll tell you the story. The other young lady that we have with us that was with Irene is another board member of the Avenel House Preservation Society. Mm-hmm. She's one of the high-end board members, her and Irene. So apparently she had went up to New England, that's where she's from, and saw a picture up there that had the last name Burrell. Well, the interesting part of that is she called down to her son, who is also a genealogy member of the board, and went through and was like, okay, well, it's weird that this particular person's last name is spelled the same way, Burrell, and then, which us in the northern area would say Burwell, 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 but it's Burrell, or Burl, like girl. So I'm messing it up. So Mr. Burl, his cousin, she found this picture, and they called down and got the information and stuff, and found out that it was the cousin of Mr. Burl, and now it's that picture. She wanted to buy the picture at the time, but the lady was asking for way too much. So she went back up there a couple years later, and the lady was going out of business, so she got it for like 70% off of what the original price was. So if it was $2,000. She figured, or $1,000. She figured 70% off of that is
Really cheap.
$300 to buy it. So she bought it, and now William Pearl is in the Avenel House, and his cousin is
2 doors down.
2 doors down and across the street at the other lady's house.
Which was pretty cool.
Do we have any questions?
Sis, you have anything?
Besides sleeping?
Joe, did we lose her?
I think she's taking a snooze.
She probably went to the bathroom.
Oh no, she's not on screen. And she didn't say I'll be right back. So thank you, it was a very interesting evening.
We do plan on doing a part 2. We do.
Oop, don't like that.
So, anybody have any questions? Maybe on the stuff that we use, the experiment?
The stuff that we use is actually going to be part of our company stream. Hi! Hello, Hell House Paranormal.
Hello. Thank you for joining. Waiting for Boss Lady to come back.
We appreciate everybody that came in tonight. How do you know anything did not come back with you? Because we don't know if anything came back with us. But at the same time, we do open and close communication, like
Our prayers.
We say our prayers, and we ask that any spirits that are there, that they stay, they be at peace, and such like that.
I do not feel that anything came back with us. I would know if there was anything different in the house, and there really hasn't. We do our prayers before, our prayers after.
I'm usually singing Amazing Grace in my head the whole time, so
we're pretty cautious.
I try to be. And it was kind of a test night for Rachel, whether she would be going on any other investigations with us, and
she failed.
She failed miserably, and it'll be one of them. We'll have to, if she ever goes on an investigation with us, it'll probably be in our backyard.
Poor pig. Damn.
I'm familiar with a couple Black Sabbath songs, but War Pigs I'm not familiar with. I'll have to look that up on Amazon Music later. I mean, it's better than singing Bohemian Rhapsody, probably, too, while you're in it.
Probably.
I mean, I could have been singing the Marine Corps hymn.
That would have been cool.
Thinking of Robert Lee living with you at home. No.
I'm not gonna lie, that would be kind of cool. Yeah.
Amazing Grace is actually my favorite hymn. That's why every time Sherry's doing her music, I'm usually the one requesting Amazing Grapes. Amazing Grapes. Better than, I guess, Sour Grapes. Well, I think Jesus would have been a Skinner fan.
Maybe.
Highway to Heaven.
Yeah.
LOL.
Yeah.
But yeah, Amazing Grace on the bagpipes is actually what I've told Linda, that when I pass away, I told you this,
I know you haven't only talked about it.
but when I pass away, that's we get the Marine Corps League that is in our area to have their bagpipe group, if possible, do Amazing Grace on the bagpipes. That is like, it's very melodic sound,
Beautiful.
but it's very beautiful. I mean, especially when they're marching in formation in a parade, and they do the Marine Corps hymn. Of course, those Marines will snap to attention. But then when they start playing Amazing Grace, it's like, whoa. And if you've never heard it,
look it up. It's beautiful. I've heard it.
that's why when Boss Lady is doing her music, I usually ask for Amazing Grace by Bagpipes. It's usually what she ends her streams on. So I feel very privileged that she uses that song that I request.
It is.
But yeah, I don't think I would want Robert E. Lee. She can have it.
I would enjoy it. I think him and I would have some interesting conversations.
Anybody got a question? Concern? Comment? What do you know?
On her.
All right, high five on the negative COVID test.
Woohoo! Good job.
Especially you Floridians. Don't know how to stay out of nightclubs. And what did you guys think of the pictures I sent earlier to Linda and you?
It was just sent to me. He hasn't looked at them yet.
I haven't had a chance apparently to look at something that you sent. Are you making sure they're empty?
Not this one. I will show them to him in a little bit. I'm not sure if Sherry's having internet problems.
I don't think so. She's still attached.
She is, but earlier it was giving her issues. So
I'm here. It goes on and off, but I'm here.
Okay.
Oh, we were asking.
Started thinking I need to get to you both up there.
Yes, that would be super fun. I wanted to see if you had any questions or anything to add.
You could have just said it. So yeah, if you go through and look at our other videos that are on our channel, we've got quite a few from that we went to Glendale Hospital. Ask away. I will let my team know. We're talking about you. If you had any questions. Or anything else to say.
You're asking me if I have any questions?
Yeah.
Anything to add? Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, there's loads, isn't there? Like, obviously... Well, really, what you want to do is you want to know what the guys think of the
We've
pictures.
been
And,
answering
like,
a lot.
so you got... Obviously, as you see the pictures and things like that. So, for me, all I'm going to say is obviously, like, a lot of people find it really difficult to believe in the paranormal and things like that. You know, when you go to these places and you can get some amazing evidence and pictures like that, it just makes it that how much more exciting, and especially when it's a place that you've really worked to be able to get to as well. And I know that the guys were really looking forward to going to this place, and it definitely did not let us down. Obviously, we'd seen it in previous shows due to somebody else, but it was just a completely different experience with these guys. These guys are very professional at what they do, and they take it very seriously, which is another good thing about their work. And there was a lot of the pictures had a lot of different things going on in it, like apparitions that were caught, and obviously you had the stick figures. Some of the pictures, it looks like I've took a picture because I think it's a spirit standing there. I know that there was the one with Rachel where she was sitting in the chair and stuff, and that was her after thing. But that it was kind of me trying to also show that side, like that things can get affected as well. You know what I mean? We kind of bring everything out, like we can explain what everything is. You could see the ones with the clear apparitions of the spirits and stuff like that. Completely different sort of shape as well. The lady that was in charge of the house, she was really, really interesting. Definitely in the interviews as well. I was there for the investigation with the guys. I was on the phone, so I was able to go round. I mainly spent most of my time with Chad because obviously Linda was going around with Rachel, so a lot of it I was on with just sitting with Chad and talking to him, and we're going around and I'm snapping pictures as he's walking about and things like that. And I think I got some really, really good stuff in them, to be honest. And I surprised myself. And a lot of footage and a lot of stuff was caught. So definitely this, definitely another show will be done, I'm sure. There's some more pictures to be shown because there was a lot of pictures taken. Because I think it's very important when you're investigating that you snap as many as you can at one time, because it only takes a split second for a spirit or to do something, and you could miss that if you're taking just the one photo. So I like to be able to just snap, even if it's a couple of seconds on the same area. You could catch something in those photos. So for me, when you're taking photos and photography and trying to catch something paranormal, I think it's better to do it where you snap on a regular basis, because then they're least expected of you to do it. Because obviously if you stand there and you take a long time to take a picture, they can see what you're doing, and by that time they could have moved. But when you're just doing it automatically, it kind of catches them off guard, doesn't it? As you've seen, because of the photos and stuff, they're unoblivious to what we're actually doing. They know you're there, but they don't know what we've done because we've already caught them. So but that place is definitely a place that I most definitely want to go and visit, especially with these guys. Definitely want to go over there. I picked up some stuff being there as well. At the beginning, I was asking a few questions because I could see things that were going on in there. I'd said about that I could see people walking up from the back area. I said I see what looked like a maid. She was coming up the back stairs, and then that's when these guys and the lady that's in charge of the place was saying, well, yeah, the maids used to use the back end to come in, go into the house and, go go to the people, because there was an area on the grounds where the maids and the workers used to stay, and
It's
they would use
Virginia.
the back
It's
side, the
Virginia.
back end of the house to come in, so that they're not interfering with the families. You know what I mean? They would have a private area to come in through.
Right. It's Virginia. So when we say maids and servants, we obviously know that at the time of Civil War and stuff, it was slaves. They didn't consider them slaves. They considered them family, actually. So they didn't treat them like slaves. And matter of fact, Mr. Burrell, when the time came for them to be freed, he actually freed a lot of them, and they actually stayed.
He built them a house on the plantation so they
Yeah,
could live
but
freely.
they worked for him, didn't they? They used to do
They
things for the
volunteered.
family and that. Not like they weren't forced like what some families would do. Like some of these people would be took on and be treated in a very poorly way, but this family very much had respect for their workers and stuff. And like Chad said, yeah, they were slaves, but they used to do things that like maids and stuff would do. They would look after the family, and like Chad said, when it comes to them leaving, a lot of a lot of them didn't, because they felt very at home with the family. They felt comfortable. They were respected, so the respect back was staying there and continuing to be there for that family, and
And
work for them, and it was just they were a very respected family, weren't they? From what was said about her, there was
that
a lovely old lady as well, wasn't there? That's there, the spirit of her. Somebody that was very connected to the house, and she knew a lot about the house as well. And because I just remember saying about a few things that I could see, and she's going, "Oh, well, there was an old." I remembered saying it, and Linda said, "Yeah, that it was said in the interview that there was an old lady there. Was it Lily or something like that? I can't
it was
remember."
Peggy.
Peggy.
That's it. That's it. Yeah.
Remember, we got that she confessed that she was the lady in white.
Yeah,
In the
that
look on Irene's
I'd
face.
seen a couple of the white lady. There was a couple of times I'd seen a white. I said, "There's more than one."
Yeah.
And Linda was like, "What do you mean, sis?" I said, "Well, I think that you're going to find that this dear old lady is in fact one of the white lady. There is more than one white lady there, because I could see her in the form of the white lady, and there was another female that is known to be known as the white lady that was there as well. So this house, in fact, had what you would call as two white ladies. Do you know what I mean? And there was a few pictures that were unusual as well, where the camera was angled at a certain area towards the doorway and stuff, and the mirror, and there was this candle light that was seen keep coming and going, and you could see something moving in the mirror and moving away with this candle light. We tried to debunk it. We were trying to see what could be causing it, and there was no explanation for what we could see, because you could blatantly see that it wasn't a camera light, it wasn't a light coming from anywhere else. It would fade like what a candle would do when it's flickering, and we could see what looked like a white silhouette at the time of it as well, So I said, that looks like the white lady. Now, in them days, there wouldn't have been electricity, so in the evenings when they would have been going to bed or needing to get up to go to the toilet or something like that, they would have used candlelight to go around the house. So, and the same with the maids and people that lived there, if they had to come in to check on the family, if the family needed something and they were called on by a bell or whatever it is, because there would have been some way that they would have had contact with them, they would have come in that night as well and used the candle, because obviously there's no electricity or anything like that in them days.
Speaking of the bells, there are bells on all four corners of the building.
Yeah.
Due to the fact that when it was time for dinner, they would sit there and ring the bells. Get the kids to come in, they'd ring the bells because they'd be out playing around and stuff like that. What the weird phenomena is that every once in a while, one of the bells would go off.
Yeah.
But we didn't experience it. But the one lady that lives to the down the street, 2 houses. She was walking her dog, and one of the bells was going off, and she was like, "Well, that's kind of odd because there's no string attached to it. They've all been removed."
Yeah, but the phenomena in paranormal is that sometimes, even if these items can still be seen but can't be used, you can still, in fact, hear them being used, because it's a phenomena and something that happened in that time that they existed. So they can make that incident happen at that time. If they're reliving their life every day, they're still working, they're still doing the things that they would have done when they were living. So, maids would have rung the bells to let the family know that the food was ready, let the children know that are outside. Sometimes the family would use the bells to call the maids and call the people in because they're needing certain things. So the bells would have been a frequent thing to use in the house. So, it's not surprising if people have walked past them and heard it go off every now and again, even if it doesn't connect to the house in that way anymore. It's just there as a show. It very much will still be able to sound out sometimes because it's part of the house's history. It's residual energy. It's left. So,
So Sam, as far as your question, did we explore the storage room? The only part of the exploring of the storage room is when we were doing the little tour, and she showed us that there's chairs and stuff inside of this, and tables inside of the Harry Potter closet.
But we were not allowed. Like, there was a basement, but we were not allowed. There has actually
there were certain areas that were off limit, weren't there? But you couldn't go into.
It was the attic and the basement and any storage closet, only because it was not irrelevant to us to get into, or the basement was too damaged for us to get into. It was just nothing but storage. There was nowhere to walk. They keep a lot of their wedding venue stuff down there and party stuff. So it really wasn't anything that we needed to get into. Now they are a little upset with another paranormal investigators group because they did break into the basement and disrespect what she said. So she did make that very clear in the interview when you guys hear it, because she was so scared that somebody else was going to do it.
They went and made it look like it was like almost out of a horror film type thing. So that's not what the Avenel House.
They were very disrespectful, weren't they?
Yeah.
And the Annaville House is most definitely not a place that's got negative energy in it. The spirits there are very homely, very friendly. They will communicate with you if they want to. It's not a bad place to go to, and it's got a lot of happy history there. And when you get people like that go in and make it out to be something that it's not, that's quite sad, because investigating is not about going to demonic places. It's about going to places that have got history, got spirit energy left there, So, it can be quite, I can understand why she would get upset, and she was upset over the videos that were done and them saying it was a negative place, because she knows that it's not, because she's worked there for so many years. She knows how that house is, and she knows how the spirits act. She's had experiences, so, I can see completely why she would get angry and get upset. And if somebody tells you no on something, there's a reason, and you should respect that. And as investigators, you never ever step over the line. If somebody tells you not to go into an area or a space, don't do it. Sometimes there's a very good reason for why they tell you. You could end up hurting yourself, which could get them in trouble. Things like that. They tell you for a reason, and you need to use your brain when you're doing that.
A lot of times they don't. Sam, to your question, do we ever use offerings? Yes, we do. A lot.
That particular one, we actually brought some rolled tobacco, and for the little kids, we forgot to bring them with us. We actually brought candy bars for ourselves for later, but one of them we used as an offering for the little kids. They might not know what chocolate is or cocoa and stuff like that, but It was something to appease the spirits that would have been there.
Mm-hmm. So when we were standing in the kitchen, I was standing in the doorway from the dining room in the kitchen, and I had a weird experience where from my hips down went numb and started shaking like vibration. I did ask everybody that was there, even Miss Irene, if anybody else felt the vibration, because I, thought the entire floor was vibrating. That was the first time I ever experienced that, and everybody looked at me like, no. So we did, I think, get that on camera too.
We seriously looked at her like she had 3 heads.
At the time, I kind of thought so. So that was kind of neat experience, but unexplained.
Yeah, and yeah, no, that was. I remember you saying about it, how you was feeling on that, and yeah, it is. It's very important. I think it's very important to take offering, Samuel. It shows respect to the spirits, and it's a way of, it's an offering, it's a peace offering. It shows that you respect them as much as they'll respect you back. It's just one of those things you should do.
When we went to go get offerings before, I did ask Miss Irene what kind of offerings to bring. And that's when she did say about the rolled tobacco and any type of candy or little toys for the kiddos, and just something, that they used to play with back in the day that they would be definitely, familiar with. So
anything like that, you'll find a lot of different things that people use, food, tobaccos, money. It depends on the location and the place that you're going to. If you're going to a bar sort of place or a saloon sort of place where poker and things would have been played, you'd put things such as cards out and money and dollars. You would put back rolling backy, because back in the olden days, a lot of them did smoke backy in their pipes. And then in their special little long stick things they used to make and things like that. Backy was something they used to use quite a lot of. And especially the rich people, they'd use it as a privilege. And, an offering and a gift. You would normally have it where the women would go one place and the gentlemen would go to a room and have a smoke and have a brandy, or have some, they would smoke their pipes, and the ladies would go off and have their lady chats and do,
different things.
Yeah, very different. And, obviously, beer, things like that. Anything. If you go to a pub, you'd put things like beers and stuff like that out when you're in money, like I said, cards. And then when you go to places like Annabelle, you would bring things like maybe like rolling backy, because obviously General Lee and people like that would have probably had a pipe or something. Or obviously as well with backy also gives them an energy, as well as showing them respect. It gives them a sort of energy to help them to gain more energy as well. There are benefits to why you give them offerings as well. Like go in there as well. They could have put a cup of orange down, or put an orange fruit down. They'd have known what an orange is. That would give them a drink, a food supplement, but that would also give them energy as well. So all of the things are always beneficial, because they're things that manifest their energy, because it's something they remember, so they become excited. It builds their energy up. They're like, oh, tobacco, oh, there's a toy. That excitement will build their energy as well, so especially when they remember something. Definitely.
Thinking, could Lee's spirit cross over to heaven and travel back to that house to visit?
Yes.
Well, with the fact that we did the small experiments, I'm pretty sure that's probably what would happen.
He is not a spirit that's grounded. What I mean by grounded is spirit that has not left the earth and has stayed there. He has most definitely gone over to the light, and he is able to go back there freely and happily, along with a lot of the spirits that are there. That's what they do. They've got memories and fondness of that house. That is what they remember. That's what they loved. So even though they've gone over to the light, they've gone to where they needed to be, they very much stay with the house. So they do travel and come back and forth. They're not trapped there. They're definitely not trapped. It's not that sort of place.
They're definitely free.
It's a lovely place, very calming, very beautiful.
And I know they probably never had a real pizza before, but we offered them some pizza when they came.
But the thing is that a lot of people look at that and they'll laugh and they'll be like, "Why would you offer them pizza if in them days they wouldn't have ate it?" It's something new, okay? These spirits in the spirit world are still learning things. They could be hundreds of years old and hanging around, and they still have that personality and that mind to try new things. So why would they not try a pizza if it looks interesting and looks nice? They're going to pick it up and try it, aren't they? And some of them really like it. They're like, "Oh, it's better than our own food we used to eat." You know what I mean? Like,
Especially the wings. I mean,
changed a lot. If you think about what they would have ate back then to now, the food has changed so much.
a lot.
You know,
That is for sure.
Like this
they
is
would
not
make the most of it. Believe me, they were on rations back in them days. Even with money, you could only get so much of everything. You know what I mean? Now we're not like that really. Okay, we're going through a bit of poverty sort of thing going on at the moment because of all the stuff in this world going on, but we can very happily go to what we need most of the time, where in them days they wouldn't have been able to. So they'll be making the most of the fact that we can feed them and give them things all the time. You know what I mean? They'll be like, "Oh, well, just make the most of it." You know, they bring us offerings, we'll enjoy it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
I mean, that's why we said about the chocolate. I mean, we use the chocolate kind of as a recharge for ourselves, because Linda gets drained. Because she can see and hear and interact. Me, I can feel. So it's one of them. I start getting a headache.
Definitely. And you do need to take snacks for yourself, even with not having an ability. Like, we all have got the ability to be able to connect to energy and feeling when something changes, and it affects all of us. Even though some of us classes ourselves as not having abilities, we've all got some sort of spiritual ability, and we all get affected. So even a normal person that associates to not having an ability would go into a place and get drained automatically because of what they're doing. So food and drink and stuff's always an important thing for investigators.
Yeah,
I take stuff.
And that night, because of the activity we did have, I did actually have to take 2 breaks because my head felt like it was going to explode. So I did have to walk out and just go sit in the car, close my eyes, breathe, and just calm down and go back in. So
it was most definitely a very active place. Very, very active. That coffin box through the whole night on and off went off just automatically, just would go off on its own. Nobody's about, nobody's near it, and it would play this very creepy sounding song. It's like do do do. It's like all the way through it, and it really did add to the scene when you're sitting in a room and you hear that coming. Now, somebody's walked past it.
And I think in every video we have, you're going to hear it because it was so loud.
Yeah, it was really loud.
We were borrowing it from another investigator who had somehow changed the sound. Well, I was informed that, hey, if you went on a ghost hunt, I should bring tea.
Oh yeah, tea and things like that. Yeah, that even as an offering as well, because they would know what tea and that was.
Yeah, they would.
They would know what tea is,
especially being on a plantation.
Yeah.
What was I saying?
About the investigation and the materials that we borrowed.
Oh, the little spirit music box we borrowed from another investigator.
You're saying about the tune being changed on it. Somehow they changed the tune.
The music box had played something beforehand, but he accidentally changed just his voice, and he was like, "If you find something, change it on there." So I went through and found eerie, ghostly music to play, and I recorded it on there, and that's what played crazily through the night.
Yeah, and it did, and like I said, it did add to the scene and the feeling of the place. You know what I mean? You're walking around with cameras with the lights off, and things are happening, and then you get that do 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 do. It's like, oh wow, yep, it's going off. Something's walking past it. Like
Yes.
it's a bit like a funeral song, but really slow. It's just like the do 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 do. It's like, oh, yeah, creepy.
It definitely set the mood that night.
Yeah, oh, it did. And I think they loved it because they touched it so, and obviously that would have been a very, very busy area where a lot of the spirit people would have been walking around in a daily basis when they were living. That would have been an area where, okay, that would have been that would have been an area where a lot of people would have walked through. So that was a busy area. So that was constantly going.
Yeah,
You know,
we did have that videoing the entire time.
And no, Sam,
LOL,
I don't think they would have liked 9 Inch Nails either.
No.
Yeah, no, probably not.
Oh man.
Yeah, they most definitely they liked the coffin thing. They like the boy loved the little bear.
Oh
Definitely.
yes.
There was one stage in there where we were in the bedroom with Linda, and she was talking to they were talking to the little boy, and he was interacting with the bear, making the bear hand go off, and the bear was saying unusual things that I have never heard it say.
Yeah.
Literally. I was
About
just because obviously they had the little Boo Bear, and then they had another one, didn't you? Had the other one, didn't you? So what it was, yeah, when it was on the bed and his arm was going, he just started coming out with stuff that never ever heard him say before. It was really weird.
So we kind of think that the little boy was coming through it, which was pretty awesome.
Because he would say a few little words, you know what I mean? But some of it, when it was speaking, it was like it was speaking in a full sentence.
Like, do you want to come play?
Do you want to come play? When it normally would say, want to play? It was saying, do you want to come and play? And then they said something else like, do you see me? It's like, do you see me? I see you. Something like that. And then it's like, what? Like me and Linda at one point were like, did that just say what we just thought it said? And she was like, yeah. She goes, I've never heard it say that before. I said, no, that was random.
It was. And then the weather with it being cold. Did you make it cold in here?
Yeah, that as well. Yeah. Did you make it cold in here?
And then as soon as Rachel sat down, did you make it warm in here? So
and I've never ever heard him say that. I've never heard it say that.
So you could tell the tone of the voice in the bear kind of changes with the different phrases, which was pretty cool.
That has been interesting. If there is no storm tomorrow, we'll head to Hooton. Okay. It looked like he was smiling on the outline.
Yeah. On the stairs, yeah, it did. I just thought that was so neat.
There were some amazing pictures and stuff caught there. It was most definitely an amazing investigation. And I'm sure the guys will try to get back there at some point, most definitely. But it's definitely a place I want to go to.
Oh, for sure.
Definitely.
Yep. And then I do have a picture we'll show at another live where you see a shadow of a little boy leaning on the bed at the foot of the bed, which was pretty cool also.
There was a few weird pictures where it looked like the little boy was going under the chair and coming out from under. There was just some random pictures. There's like Linda said as well. There's a few of the cat. Got some really good pictures of the cat, which she showed a couple of them today. It was just so cool. Like it's stuff like that makes what we do worth doing because it's not explainable. You know what I mean? And then like people are like, oh my god, yeah, I can see that, and you're like, yeah, well, you know, all these people out here that obviously we're going to have skeptics, we're going to have people that don't believe, and we understand that. We do, but when you've got it that concrete,
Yes, Mom, it was
well,
singing
you know,
itself,
what else do you need?
and it did do the ABCs, but the ABCs was a normal thing. And then I don't remember the counting.
Would you guys want to see the graveyard that has the devil's chair? Hell yeah.
Go on my Facebook, it's on my chat.
What?
The devil's chair.
But he's talking. If he's able to get out tomorrow.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, and he's asking, would you be interested in seeing the graveyard with the devil's chair? And I was like,
Yeah.
obviously. And then it said it was singing itself. It was singing the ABCs. Yeah, but it does do the ABCs. It does go ABC 1, 2. It does do that, but it was just the way that it was playing it sometimes, and it was just random. It's like you could tell it was the kid. Yeah, I mean, doing it, not the bear. It was just really random.
Yeah, I mean,
I could
it
do
was
that
great.
tomorrow, depending on the weather. Are you going to film it? If you are,
Let us know.
let us know, and we could put it up onto the company if you want it to be associated with that, or it's up to
He said
you.
he said it'd be right back.
Hurry back.
So
Yeah, no,
when,
the Blueberry is a good tool.
I do want to save up so we can get our own, but again, that is pretty pricey, so that's not going to happen for a while.
What, the Boo Bear?
The Boo Bear, the full size.
I'm sure you can get them cheaper. I've seen it. I'm not being funny, but you could probably make a Boo Bear yourself. I'm not being funny. You could probably get a teddy bear and make something and put the lighting in there and have some sort of thing triggered up where it can do it itself. You know.
Well,
I'm sure there are ways.
The one that we borrowed, and thank you for letting us borrow it. If you're watching this, we appreciated what you did for us that night. But the one that they have, it's got thermal sensors in there. It's got a whole bunch of. That's why I was asking about the temperature. It senses the humidity. I have a friend that sat in it 2 months later. She was having a ton of physical problems for a presence that has followed her ever since. Sorry to hear that, Sam.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm very sorry about that, Sam.
But the Boo Bear itself is a couple $100 that we don't have.
And it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. I don't have anything like that either. Like, I don't have no Boo Bear or anything like that because I just haven't got that sort of money to buy it. I'd love to have a Boo Bear and things like that, but it's saving up.
A lot of extra equipment that we would like to.
I mean, I got this one
for $55.
Something like that.
So it works.
Yeah, see, like £55, I don't mind paying, but if, a few hundred quid. I don't have a few $100 to just go out and spend. You know what I mean? I wished I did.
Yeah. So the only thing this does is just make noise, which is perfectly fine because it did go off once at the bottom of the stairs. But I mean,
it doesn't have to be a talking one, does it? All it's got to do is sound off so that people know that it's being touched. And
do not turn it when it gets too loud. I'm gonna do it anyway.
Yeah, so you hear that when you're in a room. You know what I mean? That you'd hear that.
The proximity sensor is on top of its head, so you literally
have to touch its head.
To get near its head, and it's not like you go in from the sides and stuff like that. This literally you have to
touch it right in that area. Yeah,
almost be like right up on it. So
it is a good piece of equipment to have, for the simple fact that that if you walk past it or you do anything, you're not setting it off.
Yeah.
If that's going off, it's because something's right down on the floor near it and touching it. You know what I mean? That is the only way you'll make him go off, which is really good.
So it worked out.
He's loud. Don't need to talk. Like the talking ones are cool, don't get me wrong, because when you can hear what they're saying and if they communicate through it, they talk through their own voice. It is good, but I think that these ones are good as well because then, you know, just the sounding and stuff like that.
So it works just as well. The only difference is it doesn't talk.
You don't have to have top-notch equipment to get good evidence. You can just buy the most basic equipment.
And we have proven
Obviously,
that.
you know, the more money you make, the more that you do well, the better equipment you get. But, you know, I've been on here 6 years and I've never bought anything that's really expensive. It's always just been the standard equipment that I use, and it's done me justice in my evidence. You know what I mean? You do not need to go spending thousands and thousands of pounds to get good evidence.
Paid,
you know what I mean?
Under $30 for that.
Yeah.
Doesn't have a battery, so it's not going to turn on. It's standard.
Yeah, standard night vision camera, but it does its job and it's good.
Yeah.
Well, this one isn't. This one isn't one of the IRs. This is just a regular.
But that was still cheap too.
That's just a regular static.
Oh, that's not a night vision one.
That's not one of the IRs.
No, but you've got a night vision one as well. But they're not loads of money either, are they? You know, that's what I'm saying. You'll go to some of these. You'll go in some of these investigators' rooms where they've spent £700-800 on a night vision camera. Now, in my opinion, I would be so scared to walk out with an £800-900 camera on an investigation in case it rains or if it falls over. So I like to just. I don't buy really cheap stuff. Obviously not, because you do want to get good footage, but I don't buy stuff that I'm going to sit there and scream if it breaks.
You can spend little money and get good quality.
Oh, yeah, and you do.
You just have to do the research. That's it.
Yeah. I mean, I want to. I keep telling her I want to go on Amazon and get the little plug-in thing for our phones that essentially makes our phone a thermal camera. It literally pops in on the bottom, and it's a camera itself.
It sounds good.
Camera goes in on, and it'll show
and
up.
They're pretty cheap.
Show up on your phone. Her dad has one.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. You can get some very good gadgets, and they're not loads of money. You know what I mean? When you get, that's the way a lot of our investigation guys go wrong, especially the newcomers, the ones that are coming in. They go into all these big channels, they see all these really, really expensive cameras, and they start going and putting all their money into that. And sometimes they don't get very good evidence on them. They're not as good as they're made out to be. You know what I mean? And they're like, oh, I spent all that on that, and they don't even really work properly. And I'm like, do you know what? I don't have anything of that price. All of my stuff that I have bought has been under 30, 40, maybe 50 quid that I've got. I said that I've got amazing evidence. It lasts longer as well, I think. A lot longer. I think it does, especially if you look after it. It does. I've never been. I will never be somebody that spends £700, £800, £900 on a camera. It's just not. The most that I would get to is a couple of hundred if I got to that place where I could afford it. But even then, I'd be, should I? Should I not? Because I'm not the sort of person. I'm quite a clumsy person. Even though when I'm investigating, I am very conscious of what I'm doing. I would hate if I'm walking backwards because I've caught something here and my camera just goes smash on the floor because I've bumped into it. You know what I mean? So I just wouldn't. A simple little digital camera that you would use to go on holiday with and snap pictures will get you some good paranormal pictures. I've done it. You know, when I've gone on investigations, I used to just have a basic digital camera with a zoom thing that goes in and out. You get some of the most amazing pictures. The same on your phone. You get amazing stuff on your phone, on your camera recorders. You've got little camera recorders like what Chad and Linda showed you where you can film and take pictures on it. Yeah, and you're only paying, what, 50, 60 quid for it?
I think we spent like 30 something for those cameras.
But it's not bad.
They want a lot of money, but they're good quality. They do work.
But every new paranormal investigator, you already have equipment that you can use, and it's right here.
That's it.
Hello.
That's how we started.
Yep. That's how I started out. I had just a phone, an EVP, and myself. Then it went to a bit more. I started getting motion sensors and torches, and I got a couple of other EVPs. Then I got my spirit box. You know what I mean? But at first, like Chad and Linda, I started out with just a phone.
Yeah.
And got really, really cool stuff.
Is there an Amtrak near you too? What do you plan on coming up here soon?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
yes, it's over by BWI.
Yes, there is. He wants to come up and he wants to bring some of his potions, so he wants to make sure he can travel with them. That way, if we need them, we got them. Him and I have already been talking earlier about that. We're not able to go down to him. He'll come up to us and.
How far are you guys from each other then? You and Samuel, like what?
2 days away.
You are what?
By train?
By a regular car drive, we are 2 days away.
Oh, yeah, 16
Wow.
hours. Yeah, see, thinking. I mean, cell phone camera.
And that works.
Okay,
That's fine. That's how
That's how we
to
started.
this is literally how we started. Cell phone and these little tiny flashlights. This one doesn't work,
Yep.
so boss lady, you don't have to worry about me shining it in your eye.
Batteries are out.
So
But-
from there, I mean, and that.
Yeah, same. Just a little standard torch, my phone, and I was off.
Yeah.
They have apps on here that you can use, that you can pull up. Ghost Tube, and then the Ghost Tube camera. So the Ghost Tube will be your EVP, and then the Ghost Tube camera is your SLS. You can actually use these as your SLS, which is how we were doing it before. And then from there, thank God for after Christmas sales, our excessively large 16 battery torches that we have, we went and picked up 4 of them.
Just because we take the kids out with us, Tiffany and Austin, we want to make sure they each had one and that Chad and I had one, because the kids are still learning their abilities and I didn't want to scare them too much. So having that light with them was kind of their security at that point. They're getting better at it. Austin will walk in the pitch dark now. He will still carry it with him, but he will not have it on unless he absolutely feels like he's in danger. Tiffany is getting better.
We all do that. I do that. I walk in the darkness, but I'll always have every investigator will carry their torch on them just in case something knocks or bangs and it's too dark. You need to take your torch out to look. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To make sure it's not anything making the noise before you presume it's paranormal sort of thing. So we always have the torch in our back pocket.
Which, if you watched the other night when we were doing the live on Saturday, I was walking ahead of Linda and Tiffany in the pitch dark. No, I didn't have a flashlight on me. The only thing that I was looking at was the screen, and now that's infrared or night vision essentially. So that's what I was seeing was, and it's backwards from on the SLS. So if I had to go right, I had to go a little left, I had to go a little right. But I was able to see the path, and then of course I kept on messing around with it and doing the trippy trees.
Sam, you need to check prices around Halloween. Just saying.
No, we're not taking them to Hell House.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. Creepy College, Hell House, whatever you want to call it. No. Not during Halloween.
Why?
Because you, no. You had an attachment come home with you?
She was a sweetheart, though.
I do not want the hounds of hell coming home with us. Okay?
But you're a little bit more experienced now. You've learnt things and learnt how to do things, so there is nothing going to be following you home because you know what to do.
Exactly. And Hell House, the Creepy College, is my favorite spot to go. I love
You
it.
just make sure that you protect yourself before you go and you protect yourself before you leave.
Yeah. And I'll leave Kelly there. I promise I won't bring her home.
He's like, no.
No, put it down.
His face, like, I think I must be delayed a little bit, you know, isn't it? It's like he's like.
Give it a second. You're about to see me pop her in the head with the bottle.
Yeah, I've just seen it.
Yes, Sam. But no, if we can't go there, there's Crybaby Bridge. There's a bunch more other things. Stop giving me that look.
Halloween's one of the best times to go out and investigate.
I know
it's
it
when
is,
it's
but
the most
we
active,
got-
and it's when the spirits are most at large. Is at Halloween.
Hold on. Hold on, Sam.
Sam goes, I wish I could talk. This is freaking great. Hold on, Sam. We'll bring you out. This is comical. No. Send it to us. All right, go ahead. Just take it out as soon as he comes up.
You have to do it on this.
Actually, November the 1st.
All Hallows Eve, and then the day after is when.
Is that it?
Yeah, I know it's all Hallows Eve and stuff like that. Yeah, no, it would be good.
So then you get it from Sherry's.
Halloween is said to be the time when the veil is the most thinnest and when the spirits can most communicate. Obviously, the veil is very thin anyway now, but has been for a while. But Halloween is one of the times that spirits are said to love to come out.
It's become a very good night to go investigating. And there is a new place that was told to us, but we really couldn't legit find it. It's called the Witch's Bridge or Witch's Rock or something.
No, it was. The story is that a witch was being ran off in the Annapolis area. Why streamers?
You're on about the Witch's Stone.
No, we the Muldier Rock. We've already been down there.
No, not that.
This is
okay.
Supposedly a witch was killed and stuff like that, and hung in a tree. And so what she does is she comes back and on one Halloween night and goes, and if you're in that area, you can see the hanging of.
All right, Sam, we sent it.
Of different people, supposedly.
We've never checked it out, so
You better watch yourself, little man, because Mama's watching.
Oh.
Do I look scared? Huh? I'm not scared of your little 5-foot nothingness. I could take you. Come on. I don't see a comeback. Come on. Come on, Cletus. Come on.
Sam, we sent you the link, hon.
Is it not working? It's
hold
in your messenger, Sam. You need to go to your messenger.
Hold on, I'll send it directly from here.
Let's try it again.
If you can't get on, then it's obviously YouTube.
Clearly. Not a friend of ours tonight.
I found that one earlier when I was trying to do the UFO show, and it kept making it look like it kept cutting the show out, but it weren't cut out. It's, YouTube's screwing up a lot at the minute.
How is it not connected?
Sam, check your camera and your microphone.
I'm the tech gods over here. Nah.
Try it again.
Third time's a charm.
If anybody else would like to come out, we can have 10 people in this little conversation.
We could, but 10 might be a bit too many.
A bit, yeah.
You hear me now?
I've tried it, and to try and talk is just unbelievable.
We can see you now and hear you now.
Oh yeah, hell yeah. But yeah, I was thinking like coming up at some point, trying to find the freaking best time to work budget wise and everything. That's number one. Number two, if I was to come, I want to bring some freaking what do you call them, potions, and see what you guys think.
That's fine.
I mean, in person, actually. That's what I'm mainly wanting to see. Sorry I look so bad. Feel like a bad batch of grease gravy chicken on the Fat Tuesday or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, for the most part, I would love to come over there and everything. And the town I live in has an Amtrak. So I would be able to I would definitely be able to make it there at some point and everything. So, and obviously I'm going to bring some stuff and see how it goes from there.
That'd be fun.
Oh, hell yeah. Then me and Chad can talk shit against each other and everything like that. See how that goes.
The normal bullshit.
Oh, God.
He's got his spoon ready.
I got a Post-it note. Mm-hmm.
Oh,
You don't want to mess with this.
He's got a serious paper cut coming for you.
Oh God, yeah. But yeah,
what about the knife? What did you think about the knife that I sent you earlier from my client?
saw the picture of it. Freaking gorgeous. Good God.
Oh yeah, I thought the same thing.
I mean, that stuff ain't cheap. That's a good one.
No.
Where the hell did you get that? Or was that a friend?
I didn't. Or? That was actually in one of my clients' houses that I was taking care of that day.
It's got a lot of energy around it, that knife.
Oh, yeah. I got shocked.
I believe it. That is...
Very old. I feel like tribal and that around that as well. Like this looks like it's had some history.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's obvious. I mean, I'm sitting there looking at that thing. I mean, to me, it looks like for the Middle East, the way it was designed.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it looks...
Yeah, it does. It looks like some of it's bone. Like the handle bit looks like some sort of bone or something. And then you've got the little gems. Like, to me, it's very native and tribal sort of making, like, where they would make the weapons to use. And they were normally pretty lethal.
That is gorgeous as anything. Small handle.
It's Arabic.
Yeah, I was thinking that. I guess I got it right.
Mm-hmm.
I was saying Middle Eastern.
But the little symbol thing in the middle is Arabic.
Well, that makes more sense. I didn't see that.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a crescent moon?
Kind of.
But yeah, then it definitely is. That's a nasty knife. That will make somebody's life hell.
Yeah, I was making her bed and I looked over. I was like, oh, it was absolutely stunning. So, of course, I asked permission before just going ahead. And she goes, yeah, just be careful. And I didn't tell her, but when I went to go touch it, I got that, like, aesthetic shock from it.
Wow.
So I hesitant on even picking it up, but then I did it because I wanted a cool picture of it. And
I don't blame you.
Definitely.
Yeah, I do not blame you one bit. I mean, that's a fine and a half. Just to hold it is kind of an honor.
Yeah.
And it's very expensive. Here's another reason. It's because it's been used. Used weapons like that are very, very pricey. And I guarantee you it's been used.
And you can definitely tell it is old because it's tarnished.
I can see that. I mean, it goes beyond that, but yes, I'm agreeing with you. But yeah, then I've got one other problem. I've got to wait. There's a hurricane that could be coming, and I've got a lot of people. There's a lot of people that have no clue on prepping for this sort of thing. But the thing is just hang out with you two, see how that goes. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Oh, and Tiffany did a really good job on that little poster type thing. It was kind of hard to see. She did a great job. It was just looked a little pixelated, but she did a great job.
For some reason, when Sherry goes to share it, it does. It gets pixelated. But when I go to share it, it's completely clear. So yeah. I don't know. Yeah.
It's gorgeous. She did a great job. So,
she does great work.
Yeah, I can see that. Definitely. Yeah. Oh God. But I'm gonna try, and I guess I've got two options tomorrow. I was thinking about going to Hontoon, and you three decide, or go to the graveyard that has the Devil's Chair, and do it live.
What time are you doing it live?
I'm not necessarily sure. I mean, I was thinking between.
Another thing is, if you're going to go live, you're going live on your phone, aren't you?
Yes, I will. I was planning.
You would need to have some sort of app thing on there to go on to, like StreamYards or something, because you have to have so many subs to be able to go live on your phone. You have to have over 1,000 subs to go live on your phone.
Well, I can do Facebook. Facebook Live works on mine.
Yeah, Facebook. Yeah, Facebook Live's fine, but if you wanted to do it on YouTube, is what I'm saying. If you want to, you would need to use an app like what we're using on here. Then you would be able to go live on YouTube as well without worrying about your subs.
Yeah, that makes sense. I guess I better get that started. What time are you guys going to work tomorrow?
I have to be to work by 8:30 in the morning. I have to be out of the house by 7:50.
And you're out of the house by 5, Chad? What time do you get home?
It depends. With him, It depends. I'm off at 5.
Okay, then I guess I can go later in the day or something like that, and I'll see what you guys think whenever I get there. I got to make sure that, because they do have a gates and locks and all that, and if you stay too long, sometimes they call the police, so I can't go after dark.
Okay, that's fine.
And then I was telling you guys a while back about Casadega. That graveyard is extremely close to Casadega. And I was going to do some live, and if you guys missed it, I understand. But what I was going to do is go over there and make it live. Do you remember the fairy garden I was showing you, Linda?
Yeah, I do.
Would you want to see that live?
Yeah, that'd be kind of neat.
Okay, I want to make it. What would you like to see over there? Yeah.
It's really pretty.
Well, I've not seen no pictures of the fairy garden.
What is that?
It's a leaf. Oh, slug.
Hold on, we'll pull it up. It was on the window. It didn't look right.
Oh, I'm looking for it going.
Well, then what I'll do is I'll make
slug inside the house and on the second floor.
Wow. One hell of a
fairy gardens are really cool to go to.
Well, the one thing about fairies, I'm not the biggest fan of them. I mean, the reason why is because you can make a mistake and they can interpret it as an act of personal war that they have. I mean, you take anything, you say certain things or this or that. But that is absolutely stunning. I work with fairies because of what I am.
And
Yeah, I don't doubt it.
if you know them and you have a good relationship with them, they're most amazing creatures you could work with.
Well, I'm not arguing that, but it's just like I said. They're protectors of nature, protective of children, innocent, this and that. And going over there and taking something of theirs, you're getting your ass kicked.
And this is the chair he's talking about.
Yeah, I've seen the
Right.
chair. I've seen the chair. He has sent me the picture of the chair, but I hadn't seen the fairy garden.
Okay.
No, I made some earlier posts on some of the stuff I saw at the fairy garden. Remember that giant head that I sent, Sherry?
Yeah, I remember the giant head thing. Yeah,
That's where the fairy. That's what had the fairy. What it was in the fairy garden. That's where I took the picture at.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, yeah, they are very cunning creatures, and if you don't know how to work with them properly and stuff, they can be very dangerous. But if you work with them the right way and you respect what they are, then they're fine with you, you know. But you know, with the thing with fairies, they're not the sort of creature that you can just go up to and start interacting with. They've got to accept you, and you've got to show them that you're trustworthy to their secret place, because it is a secret place where they live. You know, and they're very magical, and
yeah, but
it
like
takes
I
a
said,
lot of work to work with them. It's took me years.
Well, like I said, I mean, I could show you the stuff. People leave there as offerings to them and everything, and all that. Then there's the lake that Casadega has. The lake is not super big, but it's big and everything. It's got an awning and all this other stuff. Then you've got the Sinatras. Do you guys ever remember me talking about the hotel there?
Yeah.
The hotel is reportedly supposed to have some of mafia guards, bodyguards that have died in there. Some of the mafia bodyguards died in that hotel. Depending on where you're at. It also has a lot of it. It has a lot of history with the Italian mafia. But yeah, it has a lot of history with the Italian mafia. A lot of people. It was a safe place for a lot of people, and this and that. And it's pretty interesting to go over there. Every so often, I'll go over there and get some black salt if they have it on sale. I'll get some black salt for myself.
That's one of the best tools to take out with you. Like, yeah, don't get me wrong, your white salt and stuff like that's good, but your black salt is a must-have. Definitely.
Yeah, it's better. I could show you what I have if you're ever interested. Any of you three?
You could do that some other time, sir. I was actually gonna
get some sleep. Yeah, it's okay.
We're gonna try.
Hey, us going to bed at 9:30 is going to be by the time we get some milk, get to go to the bathroom and stuff like that, it'll probably be about 9:45. But
that makes sense.
I mean, last night's stream went on.
It was excellent. It was really good.
And then Sunday night stream went on for almost 3.5, 4 hours.
No problem. No problem.
It starts to go to your mind.
Well, then what I'll do is I'll take the footage.
But it still starts to go with your mind.
Well, if the weather's cooperating, I'll do a broadcast of the graveyard that has the devil's chair. But you guys got to get some sleep, especially you, Sherry. It's late as hell for you.
I won't go to sleep yet. I'm wide awake. Every time after a stream, I can't sleep.
We'll be them two will be talking for the next hour and a half. So I see we're going to bed at 9:45. It won't be until 11 o'clock by the time she actually.
Yeah. And that's fine.
All right.
There's nothing wrong with that.
But I'll be around, Samuel, if you do decide to go to the place. I don't do anything through the day apart from look after the company. Well, I'm off tomorrow, so I'm actually free. I'm not doing anything tomorrow. It's my day off tomorrow. It's Wednesday.
Oh,
so I'm around if you want to.
Yeah, I'll do it Messenger and everything. So I'll do it Messenger. I'm going to try and leave between 12 and 5, depending on the weather.
Right.
Riding a scooter in that kind of rain hurts like hell.
Yeah, no, it's not a good
Leave
idea
it.
to go out no matter, but when it's raining.
Yeah. All right, then I will leave you guys be. You guys get some rest at some point, especially you.
I'm going to get some rest, definitely, but because it's my day off, it means I don't have to worry I can just go to sleep when I feel like it. I'm in an American zone, really. So I'm awake all through the night, and I go to sleep in the day.
Well, then I will. Then what I'll do is I'll be on Facebook if you want to get a hold of me. You two, you need to get some sleep. I mean, more tired than Bill Clinton at a porn convention or something like that. What? That's tired.
He said he's more tired than Bill Clinton at a whore convention.
Oh, shit.
No,
I do yawn. I do yawn and stuff. So
Oh,
I have yawned a little bit. So I might sleep a little bit earlier today, but I won't be going off yet.
All right, then I'll have Facebook Messenger open. Just get a hold of me through that. All right, you guys take care then.
All right.
Okay. Thank you for coming up, Sam.
So, any last words, Boss Lenny?
I just want to say to you all, my angels, thank you for coming in and supporting Chad and Linda and supporting their first official stream where they show off their bits in their investigations and stuff. Stay safe and stay real, guys. Obviously, keep tuned in with us over our company. Please, guys, if you're interested in the paranormal, cryptozoology and ufology, please come and join us. Hit our email, that's pwird2021@gmail.com. Just come. Obviously, in the stream, Chad said earlier what the topics and stuff that we would want you to send over. So just go back over the video and read that. And from me, lots of love and light, and stay real, guys. And I will see you real soon.
All right, guys.
And well done, Chad and Linda. You've done absolutely amazing.
Thank you, Boss Lady.
So, we appreciate everybody that came in tonight.
And the extra 2 subscribers. That was awesome.
Yeah, apparently.
We are at 102 already.
102.
I was going to say that as well. Thank you for getting them over the 100 spot, guys. That is awesome.
Yes.
I mean, my channel only has 11, so.
So, thank you guys for coming, supporting us. Please keep a lookout within the next few days. Our awesome tech guy right here will have our first episode up. I would post out posters ahead of time to make everybody aware in all of our social medias. So please like, subscribe, follow, all of the good jazz. Thank you, guys.
Yep, definitely, yeah.
All right. Have a good night.
Yeah.
Night.